motivated. You have to be motivated. The second consideration is that we will not walk in a space of comparison. This third consideration or thing that I want you to know is that you have to choose the right inner circle. So motivation means that you are moved to action, and we know motivation is from the inside. So Abraham Maslow, when he was developing his hierarchy of needs, you know, where we want to get to this self-actualization, he pinned this area that said a satisfied need no longer motivates. A satisfied need no longer motivates. And inside of this, you have to understand what your need is, right? You have to understand as a new coach what your want is. What is your it? What is the it that you need to go after in order to be a phenomenal champion influence coach? Listen, once you become a part of our program, you are already a coach. But we're talking about an adjective to put in front of your name. The phenomenal, the marvelous Gwen, who is a career coach. The phenomenal and I'm going to say a very passionate parent coach with Coach F. So you've got to understand that you've got to understand the need, because a satisfied need no longer motivates. So your motivation has to come from the inside. And so my suggestion to you, the consideration I want you to take today, is that you would sit down in a quiet place and just think about what it is you want to do. Who do I want to be as it relates to this coaching industry? The industry is wide open. It's the fastest growing industry in the world, second fastest growing industry in the world. But there's 7.5 billion people in the world. So it's not saturated, it's just growing and enlarging. Where will you take your place as a champion influence coach? So you have to understand your need, and everything has to come from the inside of you. We, your champion influence family, can encourage you. Yes, we can. We have our Facebook group, our community of coaches. Yes, we do. You have access to me for right now. Yes, you do. But there has to be something on the inside of you, coach. There has to be a burning desire on the inside of you, coach, in order to move forward. So a satisfied need no longer motivates, and I need you to be hungry. That's the key word. I can remember when I was on the campus of Purdue University, I completed what was called an independent study. And in that independent study, I had to take lab rats. Yes, Toyinda touched lab rats. I had to take lab rats, and I had to send them through this maze because they were looking to be fed. We had starved them during the week, and we wanted to know how fast they would move to the goal. The rats were hungry. A satisfied need no longer motivates. So the rats moved through that maze so quickly to get to the pellets. The key point there was that they had drive. You have to have drive as a coach. And it has to come from the inside of you. A satisfied need no longer motivates. The second area that I want you to consider is this space of comparison. My encouragement to you is that you will not compare yourself to any other coach in the industry. You have a special set of skills that you just learned in the coaching program. You came in, remember adult learning theory, you came in with your own special set of skills. You had life experiences, you had professional experiences, and as you combine those things and as those things begin to crystallize, you will understand that comparison just won't work. Because then you become the game changer. You become the person that's pioneering into. You become the person that's plowing into the ground. See, because comparisons is a natural thing. We understand we have comparison targets. Those are people who relate to us in a special area. We want to maybe be like them or better than them. We really like what they're doing, so we begin to compare ourselves. But that thing has to be at a minimal level. I would say don't do it, but we're human. And we're not perfect, we're just perfecting. So instead of comparison, we seek to collaborate. Because when you come together in a space of collaboration, you can do more things. You get a different perspective. It's a partnership. See, because comparisons begin to, as the research says, divide us and depress us. We begin looking at Coach Vaughn. We begin looking at Coach Shonda. We begin looking at Coach LaShawn. And we say we should do it like this. And we wish we could be this person. And we begin to just lower our self-esteem. But if we turn that around and we say, let's collaborate with Coach LaShawn. I like what she's doing. Let me collaborate with Coach Shonda. I like what she's doing. That begins to give us the ability to expand ourselves. So no comparison in this season and as you're journeying along. And this last area that I want to talk about is your inner circle. Who do you have in your inner circle that can push you to the next level? And the person that you respect enough that you will allow to push you to the next level. I've had several people in my life to push me to the next level. I don't have time to talk about them today, but I want to talk about this space of inner circle. I believe, and the research shows, that your 5 closest friends and or 5 closest people that you have in your circle, they have the ability to help you to unleash that potential or go sit down somewhere. Okay? They have that ability. And so if we're walking around with 5 CEOs, who will be the next CEO? Conversely, if I'm walking around with 5 people who continue to put in the atmosphere these limiting beliefs, I'm going to be the 6th one putting into the atmosphere limiting beliefs. You know, I like watching Marvel cartoons, and I remember the Fantastic Four. I don't know if you remember Ben Grimm in that movie. So Ben had experienced these chemicals that had hit his body. It was an adversity. And later on, he realized that as he became this thing called the Juggernaut, that he could use his adversity to be his advantage. And we know what this Juggernaut is. It is this powerful force. It's an overwhelming powerful force or institution. And I like to think about the Champion Influence Program as a juggernaut. When we come together, regardless of things that we have failed in, regardless of adversities, when we partner and come together as an inner circle for each other, we become the juggernaut. We become this powerful, overwhelming force or institution that can take over the world. So my encouragement to you today is to, number 1, be motivated. You have to be moved from the inside. Number 2, we will not compare ourselves to other people. You have your own oil, you have your own anointing, you have your own skill set. And number 3, we will pay attention to our inner circle. And if you stay within this Champion Influence family, we can be the juggernaut that changes this world. My name is Toyinda Smith, and I'm honored to serve as the visionary behind the Champion Influence Program.